What is up, YouTube? Gang. Today I'm going to be doing part one of Phoenix of the Leaf. This is a fan fiction, and it was written by Riddler 2012. Chapter 0, Prologue. Hidden away from the rest of the world, there exists a secret continent. Now the elemental nations. These nations seem to be based off feudal era Japan, with being of shinobi and samurai a common profession in this continent. Unlike actual feudal era Japan, the shinobi and samurai of the elemental nation seem to be able to perform amazing feats that to us would seem like magic, but to them it's just their way of life. These feats are all possible because a mysterious energy known as chakra, which follows through every living thing. Wait, just one more thing. Is this like Marco? Okay, yeah, this is like Marco Phoenix. Okay. Our story begins with the fire country in the ninja village, known as the village hidden in the leaves, one of the 5 great shinobi villages of the elemental nations. The other ones are irrelevant for now, but fear not, they will play a part in this story at a later date. But for now, the leaf is our stage. We will be following the story of the boy who had been cursed for life of solitude, because within him lies a vicious monster that attacked the village hidden in the leaves 12 years ago. The decimated it. Of course, he doesn't know all of this, and only knows that he has been alone for his entire life. This boy will go to become the greatest hero the nation has ever seen, and his name is Naruto Uzumaki, the Phoenix of the Leaf. Our story begins when Naruto was in his first year of the Leaf's Shinobi Training Academy, or just the Academy for short. On an incredible picture quest day, picture queue day, without a cloud in sight, Naruto had been up for about an hour now. He just couldn't bring himself to go back to sleep because today was the Academy's annual end-of-year camping trip. In the forest surrounding the Leaf Village, I see where they're going. In the forest surrounding the Leaf Village, Naruto had been looking forward to it for the entire semester. He thought he could finally get the chance to make friends with some other students. He hadn't been able to make friends yet because he thought this would be the perfect opportunity. Naruto was walking down the street with his trademark goofy grin. People were giving him those looks that he hated, but today he was thinking they were giving him those looks because again, but today, giving him those looks again. But today, nothing's going to ruin my mood. Not even those mean villagers. When Naruto got to the academy, he was forced to remember that he was alone when all the kids had their parents with them, and that put a dampener on his mood. But not for long. When Hickory Sensei started doing roll call, and then suggested they should get going. He was back to 100%. While they were walking, Naruto saw a mighty eagle accompanying the surprise, and was thinking, "Yep, the future looks bright. I have a feeling today is going to change my life." And while he was right, the future was bright. It certainly wouldn't be in the way he was thinking. Yeah, he ended up with a phoenix. With the way he being the way he was thinking. And it would take a long hard road to get there. When they got to the campsite of the two teachers, um, Tsukine Sensei told them, random, extra sensei told them to set their tents, and after that, they met up in the middle of the campgrounds. Naruto was anxious to get things started, so he wasn't paying much attention to the teachers. But he did hear the start of her speech. Welcome to our annual camp trip, where we will stay in this camp for the day and leave tomorrow at noon. Since you are all first years, she said, but Naruto tuned her out after that and decided to go exploring. He asked Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba if they wanted to go too, since they were the closest thing he had to friends. But they said no. A lot of students saw him go into the forest, but no one cared enough to stop him. He had been walking for a couple of hours, probably in circles, when he ran into a tiny clearing that looked like heaven on earth. It had a little mini waterfall that fed water into a little stream pond and was surrounded by beautiful flowers. After he entered the clearing and looked around, he realized how tired he was from the lack of sleep and all the walking. And so he decided to take a nap. When he woke up, it was already night, and when he saw this, he started panicking. Dang it! I wanted to spend the day making friends, not sleep it away, he shouted, realizing that he lost his chance to get closer to the other kids. After this little outburst, he saw the sky fill up with shooting stars and saw one which looked like it landed relatively close. Relatively. Whoa! I'm sorry. So, guys, it's not that I'm a bad reader. Don't get it mixed up. You see, these words, no, they're easy. You see, I was reading a fan fiction of Deku, and it was an easy word that I should know, but I knew the word, but I couldn't pronounce it. Relatively close. He wanted to go see if he could find it, but he decided against it since he had to get back. He started trudging his way back to the campsite, but after a while he realized he was lost and didn't even know where he was going. Naruto, being Naruto, started panicking and chose a particular direction and walked that way, not realizing it was the opposite way to where he was supposed to go. After some time walking, he started getting cold and started panicking even more, even crying because he wasn't making progress and was now scared. He really didn't want to run into a ghost. When he had reached his wits ended, he stumbled into another clearing, and this one seemed to have not been natural form, as it had a giant hole in the middle of it that had an equally impressive sized rock that was glowing, the most beautiful shade of blue he had ever seen. And also saw some uprooted trees near the hole. After gawking at the rock for a significant amount of time, he realized that the rock was warm, and so he decided to huddle next to the rock and collect his thoughts. But he got immediately when he got near the rock, he was bathed in a short blue radiation and and experienced the most intense pain he had ever had. Promptly, whatever. When morning came, the kids at the camp had breakfast, then were given the rest of the time before noon as free time to do whatever they want. When noon came, when noon came, and Random Sensei decided to take roll call again. Everybody was there except for Naruto. When there was no Naruto, it was then when everybody remembered they hadn't heard his obnoxious voice for almost the entire day yesterday. And even at night, when was the last time you saw him? She asked and it was Shikamaru who answered and told her about going to explore yesterday. Random Sensei was ashamed of herself for not noticing one of her students was gone for an entire day. Why am I not surprised? For an entire day. You're a random sensei. You're just an extra who's gonna die. So, yeah. Even if it was the demon child. And she immediately told random other sensei to watch these students while she went to search for Naruto. Gonna be cursed. While she went to search for Naruto. While she was searching, most of the students didn't care because they thought it was another one of Naruto's pranks. Oh my gosh! Naruto's pranks. But, listen, I'm sorry. Y'all have to appreciate the great power of Naruto. Naruto is weak. He's trash. But Naruto is strong. So accept that power. Naruto's pranks. But there was one shy girl among them who was obscured by her thick jacket, who was thinking, I hope Naruto cool is okay. And this was none other than... I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I'm not trying to get any hate, but I hate Hinata, bro. I don't know why. Maybe it's because her husband is Naruto and not Naruto. I don't know why. Like, you should have got married to Naruto when he was 16, because then you were getting married to Naruto instead of getting married to Boruto's version of Naruto. Hinata Hyuga, who was asking her sensei the question with tears in her eyes. Even some of the students who were indifferent to Naruto looked at her with those What? Okay, what? I never subscribed to the NFL. Why is that? Okay, Naruto-kun's okay. Naruto's gone, and Taiyoshi keep watching him. Watch serve no Kage and never been disappointed in freeing Hikari Sensei students home. Watch more. We're just gonna start at a random fun. After a couple of hours, Random Sensei returned without Naruto. After conferring with other random sensei, they decided to take the other students home and get a search party. Random Sensei, will Naruto-kun be alright? I mean, he was gone for the entire night, and it was really cold. This was Hinata, who was asking her sensei the question, and with tears in her eyes. Even some of the students who had indifferent to Naruto watched at her with those hopeful eyes. And even if it was the demon, she decided she would do whatever she could to find him, so her students would be at ease. Don't worry, Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Don't worry. After we get a search party, we can get Tracker Ninja that will find him in a flash. She said, trying to assure them, but she could tell it wasn't working. Okay, there's not that. Okay, there's not that many watch. I'm watching him. Searching student. Okay. After a couple of hours, Random Sensei returned with that. Okay, Hokage, never been disappointed. Teacher entire life. After a few hours of searching with the help of ninja hound dogs, found Naruto passed out in the crater and immediately took him to the hospital. After the dog's arrivals at the Hokage was notified and made his way there to appear the diagnosis. The doctors couldn't find anything wrong with Naruto and concluded he must have passed out from the extreme cold and left it at that. When Naruto woke up, they asked him what happened, but he only remembered falling asleep near a meteor and nothing after. So did he eat the darn devil fruit or not? Dang it. And nothing after. Naruto, you should never do that again. What you did? Oh my gosh, I don't understand what you're trying to say, Sarutobi. If you had not found that meteor things might have what? I'm skipping that entire paragraph. It was the last day of the year, and Naruto was really glad. Oh my gosh, get out of here. He would get some downtime because he wanted a chance to just sit down and think about what happened in the forest. When he arrived in the class, everyone's eyes were on him. Some sort of were on him, and some of the more adventurous people, like Ino Yamanaka, were on him immediately and pounding him with questions. He answered them best he could. And bro, you don't have to answer her. He answered them the best he could, while feinting his usual devil may care. The end of the day, everyone had their questions and what? And so that accident, Meteor forgot, and yeah. This is what I'm gonna hang off this way. Like, comment, subscribe, share, so with your friends on your social media platforms. YouTube. Yo. Peace.